Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I got so many things going on today. I'm making a special hold down for my workbench that I have made in the past, but this one's going to be permanent. I'm going to show you how to reinforce some screw holes. I'm going to be using my one of my paring chisels to test it, and also a flap wheel. And you may not be familiar with all of those things, but we're going to show you those. Later on in the video, I'm going to be talking about a new phone app, woodworking phone app that I've become involved with. And I think you're going to be pretty interested in this. But before we jump into all of those things, I want to let people know who watched the video of the guitar that I gifted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's finally gone on display. A number of you have expressed an interest in going to see that guitar, and some of you even live in the area. It's now on display. There's the picture. I'll show it up there. There'll be a better picture in the article on Woodwork Web and also in the original article, and that original article and link will show up there. All right, let's get started here. So what you're looking at is the end of my bench here, and I want to do some working in a larger area that won't fit in my vise. I've tried F-clamps. They're not working properly. They're hard to use. They're awkward here. So I'm going to make a clamp down vise for the end of my workbench. I can put one leg in the vise and another clamp on the other side and hold it down that way, and that way I can quickly move it around. So that's the goal for today. I've decided to use my doweling jig so that I can use the same hole pattern no matter what wood, or even if I want to use angle iron, for example. So right now I'm just going to touch the hole, just a very shallow cut in here, and then I'm going to use another drill because I need a little bit smaller drill, because now I'm going to be using hanger bolts inside my wood here, and that way it will fit up inside the piece of wood here, the top piece here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So there's the two screw holes that I've drilled, and there's the hanger bolt. What I want to do now is I want to harden up the wood inside those holes. So I'm using some very thin CA glue in there, and I'm just going to put a couple of drops down each one. And when that goes in there, that will soak up and that will harden the wood inside. It's also a really good way if you've got stripped out wood somewhere, you can repair it with the same thing. So I'm going to set that in there, and then I can drill those hanger bolts in there. Okay, I've got that started. Let's drive that bolt through in there. Perfect. I really don't need to go any deeper. There we go. There you can see that I've reconfigured my dowel max here, and I've put a piece of sacrificial board in here because I don't want to drill into the tops of the dowel max here. So, and I want to drill right through this top board. So, and it's just gonna I could reset the drill bit, but it's just a couple of quick holes. So I need to reposition that on top there. So there we go. Okay, so just a quick 2 holes here. There we go. Okay, let's test this out. There we go. Perfect. So here is my test wood. This is the thickness of wood I'm going to be using later on, and I just want to check, make sure see how well this clamp holds. And I'm using anti-skid material just because it really helps to secure things down. I'm going to use a little bit in the top and the bottom. I'm going to go fairly close to the vise here because you get a little bit better clamping area on the back side here, and I'm also going to tip it in just a tiny bit when I put it in, and that's because when I put pressure on this side here, it's really going to lock it down. I'm just going to use one of these little guys here. I'll just clamp that down. That should, now that Oh yeah, that's that's rock solid, super rock solid on there. I've also cut a little bit of a rabbet in the end here, and I just wanted to use one of my paring chisels here, just to, oh yeah, that's so much easier to work. Yeah, I love that. You may, some of you may not be familiar with the paring chisel. It's just a long chisel. There's basically two kinds of chisels. There's some that you can hammer on. These you don't hammer on. These are for handwork. And 90% of the work that I do with a chisel is all handwork. So this gives you a little bit more leverage and a little bit more control. And these are some, I believe they're Czechoslovakian, yeah, Czechoslovakian made. And these are just, and I keep them just razor sharp. Let's have a look at the flap wheel for this. So there's one of my flap wheels. Basically, it's just sandpaper. I don't know how they, it's layered in there. I think you can see the layering. Anyway, it's for an angle grinder. This one is 80 grit. The one that I have in my angle grinder is 60. And basically, in this case, I'm going to be doing I want to do some stool making, and I need to scoop out the center, and I don't have a draw knife that has a curved edge on it. They call it a chair scoop or a seat scoop, and I don't have one of those, but this would work just fine. And you don't have to take out too much of it. Normally I'd have a dust collector scoop on the other side here, but for a test, this is going to work just fine. This gives me area to move around here. I can go in different directions, so really easy. Now the other thing I like about this, if I want consistent clamping all the way across here, because the top of my bench is super flat, I could actually even use an angle iron. I haven't drilled a hole in here, but I could actually use an angle iron in there, and that will give me a consistent clamping all the way across. This way the board is curved a little bit, so I've got lots of options. I could even put some superstructures on here for other holding things on my bench. So this is for a little bit of scrap wood. This is going to be a handy little item here. Well, I'm very excited about the next thing I'm going to talk about, and that's a new phone app for woodworking. Now, I don't make any money on this. I just think it's a really cool app, and I've been in touch with the maker of this. We've discussed a number of aspects of this app, so I guess I have some involvement with it, but I really like it. Now, I've always wanted to have my own phone app, but it's cost prohibitive because you need to keep doing updates and so on. And here we have somebody who kind of thinks the same way I do. So the app is free for download and free to use. And the way we can help keep this thing updated is he's requesting donations. So if you donate, if you like the app and you use it, donate a little bit. There's a little link at the bottom where you can go and donate, a coffee of $5-10 a year, whatever it is that you think it is. And that will help pay for the updates for doing this. A lot of functionality in this. I just think it's a really cool app, and I've had some input into some of the things that this does. So let me show you quickly what it looks like. So here's the app. I recommend that you put it on the home page of your phone, because when you're woodworking, you don't want to spend time looking for it. It's right there. It's ready to go. It's available in a number of different languages, and it basically has sort of three sections. This is the maker's tool with board foot calculator, including pricing, so you can actually do your own estimating for cost of wood. There's a fraction calculator, super handy, an optimizer. So if you're using plywoods, you can actually go in and optimize the number of cuts and how you want to make it to get the best value. If you're in business, there's some business tools. Project pricing, you can keep your client list there, what things you might have in inventory. And then further down, there's some utilities, and I really like this. There's unit conversions. That's super handy when you're working. A decibel meter and I love this. This is even adjustable, so you can set it up for exactly where you're working. Down at the bottom, there's some sponsors, affiliates, and about the maker, and this is where you can donate to them if you like the tool and you're using it. So it's called Woodworker's Companion. It's available on Android and Apple. Go and download it, have a look at it, and if you like it, maybe you want to donate a $5 or $10 to James or buy him a coffee. So anyway, great little tool for woodworking. So there you go. That's the phone app. Go and have a look at it. Try it out, use it. As I say, put it on the home page of your phone, and that way you'll be more inclined to use it and get some benefits and get some good use out of it. And we are in early days. The app will update itself, but over time, you know, in a week or two or something, if you ever want to check to make sure that you've got the latest version on your phone, check the version on your phone, quickly check the version on where you downloaded it from, because it will show the version there. And if you need to, all you need to do is reboot your phone and it will automatically update it. So I just think it's a really neat little thing that James has put together here, and I want to support him and keep that going, because I think it's got some really nice functionality. And for that concludes my video for today. I'm Colin Canet for Woodwork Web. There will be a link over to the guitar, because I know a lot of people were talking about that. I know I've got emails and people even stopping me in the street to talk about it. So that'll go there. You can have a quick look at that if you've missed it. I'm Colin Cadet, and we'll see you next time.